I would like to call to order the Winthrop School Committee meeting of Monday, November 18th. This meeting is being held in the Harvey Hearing Room at the Town Hall 1 Metcalf Square. It is available via Zoom, and it is being broadcast live on WCAT. It will be available on WCAT later as well. Could I have the roll call, please?
Ms. Leonard? Mr. Lettieri?
Here.
Mr. Matucci?
Here.
Ms. Petrie? Here. Mr. Purinton?
Here.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Present. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Martucci, can you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment tonight in the room or on Zoom?
I do not see anyone.
Okay. Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of November 4th, 2024?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Lettieri, second by Mr. Purinton. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or opposition? Motion passes. May I have a motion to approve warrant SVW 25-9 in the amount of $54,656.34?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Berry, second by Mr. Lettieri. Any discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call?
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Matucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion for payroll warrant SPW 25-07 in the amount of $981,539.92?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Berry, second by Mr. Purinton. Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Lettieri?
I abstain.
Mr. Matucci?
Abstain.
Ms. Petrie? Yes. Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion for payroll warrant SPW 25-08 in the amount of $923,709.18?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Berry,
Second.
second by Mr. Purinton. Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Lettieri?
Abstain.
Mr. Matucci?
Abstain.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion for payroll warrant SPW 25-09 in the amount of $899,517.04?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Berry, second by Mr. Purinton. Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Lettieri?
Abstain.
Mr. Matucci?
Abstain.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. We have a request by WinArc to use the buildings and grounds for Special Olympics, and with that, I would ask for a vote to waive their rental fee.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Ms. Petrie, second by Ms. Berry. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. We also have a request from North Suffolk Community Services for their holiday event.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Ms. Petrie, second by Ms. Berry. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or opposition? Motion passes. We have a budget subcommittee report.
We had a meeting at 5 o'clock this evening, this afternoon. Members in attendance with myself, Lane and Julie. In the administration, Lisa and Laurie. Non-members with Jim, Jen, Karen, Travis, and Phil Ronan were guests. Sorry, Phil Ronan. Phil Lundberg. Sorry, Phil. We did not take any votes, but we did have a discussion. We reviewed a quick review of some budget numbers for 24, 25, and we had a discussion going about going forward on the override, which failed. And we talked about when we wanted to go for another override, if we wanted to go for another override. We talked about what number we'd be asking for to go to the town council. And we had several different opinions, and we're still working on it. So we'll have another meeting next Tuesday at 4 o'clock in this room, and we'll talk some more and hopefully have something to come back with.
Fantastic. Any questions or comments from the committee?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
I just want to thank us for those minutes from earlier's meeting. I just think it's, important to stress that, I can't speak for the committee, but it's disappointing. And I think the committee's doing a great job with trying to regroup. I don't think personally there's a doubt that there is not a need there, and the onus is on us to make sure we educate that need as best we can, and I look forward to hearing ASAP from the committee with their thoughts. I know they're going to put a lot of time and effort into it. Just the importance can't be lost at all. This is an incredibly important thing that affects not only the school but the town as a whole, and I just hope people gather around and get together and ask the questions they need to ask, and I look forward to the discussion.
I appreciate the prompt response, and I appreciate that. I think it's important for those who supported the override and put the effort in to understand that what happens next and the next steps, and that we are moving forward in trying to better understand the depths of our need and what will make the most sense for our town and our students. And we have a superintendent's report.
Yes, thank you. So sort of staying on the same line with the override, I just want to thank the override committee deeply for the work that they had done, along with our teachers union and our staff and our families, for all coming out to vote. So for anyone who came out to vote, we thank you for that, or I thank you for that. Certainly it was disappointing for the override not to have passed. I was very confident that it was going to pass, and still confident that if the school committee and the town council are in agreement to move forward to request it again, we would be thrilled to be able to have that opportunity to do that. I think one of the important things that we will be doing going forward in anticipation of being able to have another opportunity, to have the override pass, is to doing some analytical work around maybe the things that we've missed, as a committee, or as a school committee, or as a teachers union, or as parents. What information did we not get out there, and being able to provide that to the community so that they have any missed opportunity to learn something about why the override is needed should be put forward. So I look forward to doing that work with any committee, whether it's the school committee or the override committee, and just reminding folks that we are ready for questions. If people have questions in the meantime, even prior to the council and the school committee deciding to move forward, if that's the will of the committees, if there are still questions, that people do reach out. Don't make assumptions. Certainly try to come directly to us. So thank you to everybody who worked hard and who's willing to continue to work hard in the best interest of the students. Just a few little items. I don't know if anyone had the opportunity to see the play 6 that'll come up in public relations, but I did not have the opportunity to go to the full formal play. I was not in town this weekend, but did get to poke my head in and see some of the rehearsals, and also see the tremendous amount of feedback that the school district got about the talent of the students and the folks that, the teachers and the drama department and the choreography that went on with that play. It's such a shot in the arm for the community, but more so for the schools to have, one, a beautiful theater to convene in, and to be able for our kids to show their talent. So hopefully it will be publicized at some point for people to be able to watch it. But big shout out for the folks and everybody who is involved in it, because there's not just people performing, there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes with our set design and our students that participate in every aspect of putting on such an amazing play, along with our staff. Just a couple of little updates on the schools. The early release for parent conferences on November 20th. It's Spirit Week, the 25th at the William P. Gorman, from the 25th through the 27th. And then, obviously, we're approaching the Thanksgiving break, and there'll be a half a day on the 27th with no school on Thursday or Friday, the 28th and the 29th. Sticking with the Gorman-Fort Banks, just an update. As folks are aware, Mrs. Kristen Reynolds, who is the assistant principal of the Gorman-Fort Banks, has stepped up to take over to be the acting principal of the building. Mr. McEnany is presently out on family medical leave, pending his, some work being done on his retirement. So right now, Mrs. Reynolds is the acting principal of that building, and we have some folks supporting her to fill her position as the assistant principal during that time frame. So we need a little bit more time to determine what the date will be that will become an open and full-time position, as well as filling of the assistant principal's position in that building. So more to come on that. We've had a lot of conversation with staff. We certainly had messaging go out 2 weeks ago for parents to understand that we were having a transition. Although the transition seemed abrupt, there are certain aspects of staffing that we're not, in the Human Resource Department, that we're not allowed to speak about publicly prior to something. So with Mr. McEnany's understanding, and certainly now notifying the parents, that his anticipated retirement will be upcoming in the next few weeks. So we wish him the best. He has been in communication and was in really good communication with the staff to sort of fill them in. And I thought his messaging to the parents was excellent. So as we go down that pathway to finalize those positions, I will make sure the committee is updated on all of that.
Thank you.
What else? Middle school, so they have picture retakes on Tuesday, the 19th, which I know is super important as a middle school student. Also, district-wide, it's National ESP Day on Wednesday, so feel free to shout out your ESPs. There is a middle school site council meeting on the 20th of this week, and Monday, December 2nd, is National Special Education Day. But we'll send out some reminders of those. We're continuing at each school to complete our ALICE, active intruder drill training with our staff. Thank you to the police department and fire department for continuing the legacy of doing that work. It's a lot of work for them to prepare to do that with our staff, and then to come on site when there are no students and actively walk our staff through that particular program so that they are aware of what to do. Our staff is, I haven't checked it this week, but we were very close to being 100% ALICE certified with all of our in-building staff, and that's a certification program that they go through. It's an online training where they have to go through the online training and actually pass a test, and then once they pass that test, the test score or the passing of the test is submitted to me, and we have a portal that keeps track of who is certified and who is not, and as new members come on staff, it's part of their onboarding. So information that I think is important, and it surrounds the safety and security of our schools. At the high school level, report cards were available on the 18th. They'll be on Power School for parents. Picture retakes are on the 19th, and senior portraits will be taking place shortly thereafter. Under, do you want me to do public relations or hold? I can hold.
You're on a roll, let's go.
All right, public relations. Congratulations to the Winthrop High School varsity and JV cheerleaders who completed in regionals yesterday. I know there were several students that attended that to watch the cheerleaders complete that, although we did not come in first. I'm not 100% sure where we landed. I was waiting to hear back from Mark prior to the meeting, but definitely missed his call, so I'll have more on that. But I know they competed well because there were a couple of people that went to that said they did a great job and reported that back. I talked about the musical 6 over the weekend. Tomorrow is the deadline to order Thanksgiving Day pies that support the class of 2025. They're $20 each. You can contact Danielle Reardon at 617-529-8498 if you would like to purchase a pie and support the class of 25. The class of 2026 is holding the annual country fair this Thursday, November 21st. That's at St. Michael's / St. John's Gymnasium. The doors open at 5:30, and there's a $5 entry fee. That's always a nice take-in. A lot of people go to that. Congratulations to Audrey Carroll, who was named the middle school's Project 351 Student Ambassador. So that's a great appointment for her. And then the Winthrop Elk Students of the Month, grade 6, was Nora Chapman and Christian Streeter. Grade 7, Richard Vivolo and Declan Cassidy. And grade 8, Mariana Gomez and Nicholas Lemieux. And that is what I have for this week.
Wonderful. Do we have any homeschool applications?
We do not have any homeschool applications.
Okay. Personnel?
Yeah, so for resignations, we have Ivy Horrigan. She's been the ML teacher over at the Arthur T. Cummings School. Prior to that, I remember way back in the day, she came on as a speech pathologist when I was a special ed director, PPS director here. So Ivy is moving on to a community that is closer to her home. She has 2 young children. We are actively, no, 3? She has 3 now. So she has 3 young children, like I said. So her opportunity came closer to home and better her commute. So we are close to filling that position, I believe, which is amazing, because that is a very difficult position to fill. So she morphed from a speech-language pathologist to an ML teacher. And then we are actively trying to fill, as you saw in your packet, a long-term sub for leave of absence for an ESP. The custodial position you see on there, we have filled. The ML teacher, we're close. And the occupational therapist position that was vacated this past week, we have not filled that yet. We have very few applications. We do have a retired occupational therapist that's willing to come back 2 days a week to help us meet compliance and make sure we're servicing our students. Our hope is we don't have to go out to an agency to subcontract through them to get an occupational therapist. So we have posted it as full-time and part-time so that we can get multiple candidates. So 2 part-time fill-ins would be fine with us. And I believe that is it for staff.
Okay. Under new business, we need to add in a December 2nd meeting that would be for warrants only. Can I have a motion to add that meeting?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Ms. Berry, second by Ms. Petrie. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or opposition? Hearing none, that motion passes. We have no unfinished business. Any other public relations from the committee?
Just one thing that I left off, I apologize, was it was in your packet, International Night, which is a pretty big deal here in the district. It's on January 16th. And just, we'll say it every week, just because we have tons of people that come. I put all the translated notices in there just to give you an idea of how we communicate with our families, just give you a little look into the different languages we have and that we do communicate home with the parents. So I'll keep talking about that night. It's really a good take, a lot of fun for families and students.
Excellent, thank you. Anything else?
I have one thing.
Yes.
Yes. So Winthrop High School girls basketball team is hosting a fundraiser on Saturday. It's a bake sale, French Square, 9 to 12.
Hopefully you have good weather for that.
Yes.
Anything else? Hearing none, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Motion passes. We are adjourned.